Did you know that your brain is not designed for modern life? As a matter of fact, it's not even designed for this chair that you're sitting on right now. Throughout human history, our brains have been pretty much the same, but the way we live has changed dramatically. The world that we live in today is vastly different from the world that our ancestors used to live in. And so is the way we think. We are constantly bombarded with information, emails, phone calls, messages, notifications, news, social media, and it's just too much for our brains to handle. That's why many of us feel overwhelmed, stressed out, and unable to focus on the task at hand. Our brains are not designed to sit for long periods of time. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Our ancestors used to move around a lot more. They would walk 4 miles in order to find food or water. They would climb trees to escape predators. They would do all sorts of physical activities throughout the day. But nowadays, most of us spend the majority of our days sitting in chairs, whether it's at work, at school, or at home. We don't move around nearly as much as our ancestors did, and our brains are starting to feel the effects of this. Another thing that our brains are not designed for is the amount of stimulation that we constantly exposed to. Our ancestors didn't have TVs, video games, or smartphones. They didn't have to worry about missing out on something, because there was not much going on in the first place. But nowadays, there's always something going on. There's always something to distract us from the task at hand. And it's not our fault. It's just the way that our brains are wired. We are naturally more interested in what is happening outside of us rather than what is happening inside of our heads. This is why it's so hard to focus on tasks that require a lot of concentration, such as studying or reading. Our brains are simply not designed for it. But don't worry, there is hope. There are things that we can do to help our brains cope with the demands of modern life. One of the best things that we can do is to be more aware of how our brains work. We need to understand that our brains are not designed for the 21st century. We need to give our brains the stimulation that they crave by providing them with opportunities to explore and engage with the world around them. We also need to find ways to reduce the stress and anxiety that come along with modern life. This can be done through meditation, yoga, or simply taking some time each day to relax and clear our minds. By following these tips, we can help our brains cope with the demands of modern life and thrive in the 21st century.